The future is about the singularity. Technology evolves at an exponential rate, making newer and newer technologies cheaper and cheaper. When they're introduced into the marketplace, there is a competition model that takes place, and then the cost of the technology becomes cheaper and cheaper, making the abilities and advances in technology come faster and faster and faster and faster. So I remember when 1 gigabyte worth of space was an insane amount of space, and there was an old quote from Bill Gates, I believe in the 80s, that stated that no human, no man would ever need 5 megabytes worth of personal digital space. So a lot has happened since then, and a lot is happening right now. What's going to happen is eventually technology is going to evolve to a rate at which the mechanistic programs run at a quicker rate than our brains do. And the memory of computers is much, much more reliable than the memory of humans. I know that some people will say that that's an open dispute and all of that, but usually when you replicate a copy of something, it remains almost an exact copy. When you replicate a copy of a meme from mind to mind, it alters. It's the game of telephone. So when computers and machines and robots become as intelligent as human beings, just on an intellectual level, not emotional intelligence, just analytic intelligence, then we have a situation where computers are then able to invent the level of innovation that computers reach because they don't have that initial human spirit. But then again, the whole concept philosophically of the human spirit and what it is to be human will be tested, because if computers start generating art that inspires humans from original inspiration or a collaborative effort among computers to generate art, then the whole issue of what makes a human special comes into mind. This is going to be an era where computers meet their makers, whereas humans could not really duplicate or replicate the existence of God in their own lives as an objective event. Computers will be able to document our existence. So the future may be undesirable conditions environmentally and so forth for humans because of global warming and because of nuclear winter and because of any of these mistakes that will put our species through. However, computers will live on. Silicon will, we will, either silicon will or we will develop a method by which silicon can replicate itself and keep itself sustaining. So that'll be really interesting. Then, of course, the next big leap is when we integrate human consciousness into technology, into the computers, and that's going to be a decision that humans are going to have to be making. There are going to be naturalists and Luddites, and then you're going to have you know singular believers and believers in the advancement and the evolution biologically of humans, and saying that the integration into computers is the way to go. And then we have a world like the Matrix in which we're able to program ourselves to learn new languages and new physical abilities just by programming our minds to take on that challenge. And then it's a trip to think about. And I don't know what side of the fence I'll be on when that time comes. But for right now, just living and loving life. And in the future, hopefully continuing to live and love life, and hopefully create methods by which we'll be okay. Like self-sustaining technology and roofing and housing and wind power and all that kind of stuff, so that we don't overstay our welcome on this planet. But I don't think that there's any kind of inevitability for the survival of the human race, which is fine by me. I have a connection to humans for sure, but it is no greater than the connections to other animal species that we are eradicating and eliminating and exterminating from the planet. So it will almost be like a fresh of breath air, a breath of fresh air when that comes. So peace, and I hope we can get it together and stop all of this wasteful destruction and continue to promote peace and make ways and advance our civilization to a point where we can all find a way to coexist with each other. All right.